Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I think my battery's dead.
With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone.
So what if I need a new one?
No problem. We have the right battery for your car, starting at only $89.99.
Get in zone,
And what about my old battery?
We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
It's important to properly dispose of unwanted medication or sharps. MedProject offers free and convenient disposal options near you. To learn more, call 844-MED-PROJECT or visit medproject.org.
Okay, this one's for Gabby.
Hello?
Now can you hear me?
Hey.
There he is.
Oh my God, we connected with the aliens, everyone. Okay, we'll speak slowly. Hey, hello.
Zip, narp, fluid, marp. I'm sorry. Hey, Chris, I was just joining. I had something in my throat. That was. There we go. I'm clear now.
Okay, good to know. Jeez, man, I was a little bit worried about you.
Yeah.
Did you go out and like run around the hiccup and cough gods over the weekend or something?
Yeah, just I think since I already tempted the gods of fate with the weather, I am responsible for the cold in Texas. I'm gonna now mock coronavirus. Because you know what, Chris? Can't get any worse, right?
Well,
there's absolutely nothing that could go wrong and make it worse. There, I said it.
Now the Titanic's gonna show up in the front yard.
Yeah, that ship that was blocking the Suez Canal or whatever is going to be like filled with
It's human trafficking.
those things that escaped after the Indiana Jones opened the tomb or the what was it? Oh,
The Ark
what
of the
did they open?
Covenant.
The Nazis.
Do you want me to edit
The
this?
Ark of the Covenant. Yes, it's like all of that's going to flow out of all those container ships.
Okay, I'll edit that part down. Edit the first 2 minutes. Okay, dude, should we just start over then? Wait, hold on.
You know how I
Hold
feel
on.
about starting over.
Let me rephrase that. Should I tell you that we've started already?
No, you never do anyways. I just assume that you record everything. So I'm ready.
Oh, welcome to We Should Be Better at This. My name is Chris Donovan. That is Sinatra's Rat Pack, better known as Eric Leckie. What up, dude?
Hey man, you play a song. You always do pretty good about picking songs that are relevant to what we're doing. And that Aloha Oe song that everyone thinks of when they think of the island of Hawaii was up top there. And of course, that's because you went to Canada. No, wait, that's wrong.
No.
You went to Brazil. Nope, that's wrong too.
Nope.
Australia.
Keep going.
Okay, it's Kansas. Knew it. Nailed it. So how was Kansas?
Well, that was actually the Hawaiian version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. So it was close. We're very, very close. But no, we were just in Hawaii last week. The whole entire family went there and had a blast. And that's why we didn't do a show last week.
That and I was in rehab. So
for the 30th time.
But listen, I'm just not a quitter. I don't like quitting things. So listen, what are you able to do in Hawaii during a whole COVID stuff? I mean, is it wide open? Are you able to do stuff? Like, tell me what you guys did.
Yeah, well, I mean, to get there is a process. Like, you have to go get tested 72 hours prior, and you have to have a negative test result. And if you don't have a negative test result 72 hours prior to your last leg on the trip, then you have to not go. It's that simple. So like if I was at the airport and we got our negative test, I'd be like, okay, bye guys, but we all tested negative. And then when you got there, excuse me,
Is that the Hawaiian volcano erupting?
A volcano erupted.
That's what
and we all ran for our lives. And the only reason I survived is because I rented a Jeep. This is a Jeep commercial. Jeep, thank you for sponsoring this. No, no, the real story is then we got off the plane, and because it was spring break over the last couple of weeks, Hawaii had upped their security, so everybody had to get tested again. We got the results back in 2 hours.
So, okay, here's another question. Okay, so is this just a Hawaii thing? Yes. Because, for instance, when I fly back and forth between California or wherever, You don't have to do the whole
Hawaii.
test thing.
That's just
I
Hawaii.
thought it was just when you left the country.
No, Hawaii's been on lockdown. They've only had like 3-digit number like total cases. So they've been
Well,
really
let's be fair. It's pretty easy when you live on a secluded island. It's like New Zealand. New Zealand's all, we totally licked the coronavirus. All our system worked.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, you also have like one person every 4 miles. Everyone's completely spread out, and you have like a total population of like 100,000,
That's
and you're an
fine, though.
island. So,
Because honestly, you can make sure that nobody lands on your land. You can either shoot them down or blow up their boat.
Yep.
There's no way they can get there other than that. I mean, if they swim that far, hey, good luck on them.
So, did you get to like
Yes.
go surfing? Did you do outrigger canoeing? Did you like, I don't know, stab a dolphin with a spear? What did you do?
I did not do the latter, I can tell you that. But I did, things were open kind of for the most part. The resort we stayed at had one restaurant, bar, chair, and was all outside. So chairs were just spread apart farther because it was Hawaii. We went snorkeling just anywhere we wanted to go. There were a couple other resorts nearby. We were allowed to use their facilities. They were, again, open up about halfway. Kind of, hey, social distance. Don't, if you're going to pee in the pool, pee over there by someone else. Stuff like that. But other than that, we only had 2 plans. One was to get on the boat and try to catch a fish, which we did. And that was our own boat. So it's not like we were around anyone except for the captain and his first mate or son, whatever you want to call him. And then the other one was we swam with manta rays, which was really cool. And then we were pretty separated at that point too. So we felt safe the whole time. We didn't really do a ton of like, hey, let's go to the mall, because that's not what you do in Hawaii.
Yeah, it's not what you do in Hawaii.
But
You
other
like
than
pineapples.
Other than that, it was the
stuff.
big island. So a lot of people don't want to go there already. So they're probably not going to waste their first time out of COVID to that island.
Now, question. So you go on a boat, and you said it was just the guy and his first mate.
Yep.
Question: do they have a second mate? And if you're the second mate, are you just called mate? Is it captain, first mate, and then mate,
I think it's mate junior.
or mate junior, or mate 2.0, or like? and by the way, like, and is there a ranking system with mates? Can you be a level 5 mate, and you're like, well, I'm just starting out. I scrub the toilets and the deck. I'm a mate, a 5 mate. And it's like, hey, captain says that you're promoted. You're now a number 4 mate. And you're like, ooh, wow. Now I get to clean up like the parrot crap,
Well,
or something like that.
What about somebody else on top? Can there be a new master mate?
Oh, yeah. Like, what if you're the first mate, and you think, you're like Mr. Smee and Captain Hook. Like, you think I'm the captain's right-hand man.
Yeah.
And then the captain goes and hires an outside pirate, like doesn't promote from within,
Mhm.
and hires someone as like general manager mate.
Oh, that would be tough.
Yeah, like, and then now you went from like right-hand man to now you're like, I'm first mate. That used to mean something.
Well, then he went out and made it even worse and goes out and hires the director of mates, which makes it very difficult, because are you in charge of the general management?
And do they have an HR mate?
Oh, yeah.
Because I would think that on a pirate ship, of all the professions that would get the most complaints, I think the pirate who works in HR, and it would be HR.
I was waiting.
The pirate who works in HR probably gets a lot of complaints, like the deck is slippery and my peg leg needs a skid stopper, or what are those tennis balls that you put at the end of like old people canes, or hey, this parrot that the captain has on his shoulder is pooping all over the place and people are getting sick, or these hours of pillaging are beyond the 8 hours I'm being paid for, and I want compensation. I mean, I would think that the HR pirate would be a pretty busy guy.
Well, yeah, probably, since Captain Hook's a little handsy, if you know what I mean. That's how we lost the first one.
He's a little hooky. And then are they required? Is there like a quota system? Do they have to hire so many female pirates?
Yeah, they're called femates.
Femates, yes, femates. And then wait a minute. And okay, do you have a first mate that's a male, and then a first femate?
Ooh, I don't know. Do they live in a White House?
No, I don't know. And I don't know.
I think that one's gone its course.
Yeah. All right. That's enough hot pirate talk, but we will continue it more with our new pirate themed podcast called Thar She Blows. All about pirates.
I was sitting here going, when can I throw in this HR joke? When can I throw this HR joke? And then you're like, oh no, it'd be called HR. I'm like, damn
Yeah, I know.
I
Well,
had it,
there
I
you
had it
go.
not
Well, no,
loaded.
it's super cool. I'm so pumped. I've never been to Hawaii.
Shut up. Well, it's because you're probably not allowed.
Yeah, I mean, there was this whole thing that I did with the pig and some coconuts, and listen, I'm never allowed back, but we don't speak of it.
That's why they're
But
called
listen,
luau's. But let's
yeah. No, I've always wanted to go, but it always felt a little touristy, trappy for me. Like you're going there, and it's just everything is 5 times the price it needs to be because
True.
you're the stupid islander, the mainlander.
True, but there's ways to do it, and we know how to do it in Maui, and you can do it also at the Big Island where we went. But what we do is in Maui, right next to where the airport is, you get off the airplane and you get your rental car, which is right there. Then you go to Costco, which is right across the street, and you get everything you need for your entire vacation because most of the places that you stay there have full kitchens. So then what you do is you get your car full, you go to your hotel, you unload, you get hammered, you wake up, you forget something in the car, what doesn't matter, you go back inside and you have breakfast. Did that even make sense?
No, it didn't. But maybe you're just still on island time.
Yeah, no, that was the worst of it actually, because now I can't wake my kids up early enough and we're up a little bit later and we're like, it doesn't feel like it's 1 a.m. and it's technically 11 o'clock over there. But the one thing that was really badass was, what's the basketball starts at what time? Like 4 o'clock on the East Coast, 1 o'clock on the West Coast.
Something like
10 a.m. man, it is awesome. Last time I was there, it was NFL season. I was watching football at 10 a.m. No, not even 10, right? So I was watching football at 8 a.m. 9, 10, 11.
Wow.
Let me do math. 8 a.m. with a Mai Tai in this restaurant watching football. I was in heaven. And then this time
that's
it was
pretty
the
good.
NCAA tournament, so I got to watch that super early, and it was over early,
Speaking of my UCLA Bruins, last night upset the number 1 team in the nation. Number 1
Gonzaga?
team in
No,
their
they
bracket.
didn't beat Gonzaga.
No, they didn't beat Gonzaga, nor will they. Which
Nope.
that's who they're playing in the next round. But they did beat. They're the first team to beat a number 1 and a number 2 seed in the same tournament.
Wow.
And they're facing Gonzaga, who's pretty much going to wipe the floor with them. But proud of my UCLA Bruins, and Gonzaga's kind of like your local-ish.
Yes, there's Spokane, Washington. Yeah,
school, right?
Actually, when I was in high school, actually right after I got out of high school, Gonzaga, I'm gonna get to the Final Four, and a buddy that I went to school with was on the team, which is kind of cool. I mean, he was a tall white dude, which is their whole team almost. But
that's you just described all of Eastern Washington.
But I think that USC got lucky, or UCLA got lucky. No,
What's that? No, I don't think so.
You don't think they beat Michigan? That was luck?
No, I mean, because first of all, okay, I have a problem with college athletics in general. That's a whole nother subject because I think it's stupid. Yeah, that's a whole other podcast. They make billions of dollars and they pay these guys none. But that's a whole other podcast. But it is a turnoff for me in college athletics. I actually don't watch as much college sports because of it. But the thing about basketball in general to me is the hardest sport to officiate.
Yeah. The guy passed out last night in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, but it's the hardest sport to officiate because there's so much contact and all that kind of stuff. And how do you call it one time up the floor, not the other time? And that's in the pros where you have pretty damn good referees overall.
Mm-hmm.
College basketball refereeing is just absolute garbage and trash. I couldn't be a fan of college basketball because I would want to murder the refs like 8 different times. And in this particular game, you had the other player, the guy on the other team, the big, tall, lanky white dude that's like 7'5". Every single time down, he'd throw an elbow and bump into someone, and they'd call the foul on the UCLA player. So I could also look at it that way of like, well, wait a minute. He's the one throwing the elbow, but it's the foul on the guy getting elbowed in the chest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how fouls work in the NBA because it seems very arbitrary and made up on the spot.
It's whoever has the most money in their pocket at the time. See, they're really, really fast. We don't know that. They're actually all as fast as a flash. and then what they do is they carry on cash in their pocket. So when they mess up, they run over to the ref real quick. They're like, hey, and then they pay it off, and then they go back playing the game. No? Too far?
No, I don't think that's how it works at all, and I think you're completely wrong.
Okay. Well, I mean, I that's what the internet said.
Yeah. So while you were enjoying the beaches of Hawaii and kicking your heels,
what were you doing?
Mai Tais, I was doing work stuff.
When don't you do work stuff? Let's be honest.
I know. I never really go on vacations, but so I took the family down with me on this work trip down to Austin because none of them have ever been down to Austin. I've been there quite a few times on business and stuff, but they'd never been down there.
Did you run?
It was kind of cool. No, no, no. I purposely keep all of that separate. I have you know, a lady in every city, if you know what I mean, right?
No,
Right?
I know. That's why I asked if
No,
she
I have
wanted to be at the
nothing.
same place as you were.
I don't even have a lady in Dallas here where I live. Uh, my wife and daughters both completely have disowned me, so I have no one.
Which is
Uh,
true.
so no, we were on this work trip in Austin. I thought it'd be great to take the family along because they could play during the day while I worked, and it worked out fine because they can kind of do the sightseeing thing, and I'm doing the work stuff, and it all worked out fine. Now, I have a family of girls, and you don't have this problem completely because you do have a little man in your corner who at least can kind of be the other guy in the house. I do not have that. In
Nope.
fact, I'm barely a man myself
You're taking
these
all the
days.
kicks to the balls.
Right. So, you know, I don't know if you know this. I mean, it's not a secret, but women, and it's a stereotype, but it's true. They take a long time in the bathroom.
You know we're recording, right?
I do know.
Okay, because
So
I
here's the
want you to
thing.
know one of those
We are
groups
recording.
are going to come after
I
you.
will listen. Hashtag lick my balls. I don't care. But anyways, so you have women in a house that has multiple bathrooms. You're fine. You could survive just fine because there's plenty of space. But when you're in a hotel room and there's only one bathroom, now you're talking a little bit more complicated. It's like living in a studio apartment, right?
Yeah.
So
That's what happened.
here's what happened to me.
Okay. Well, I have a question before you start going.
Yeah.
Why are you such a cheap ass? You don't get a 2-bedroom.
I'm so listen, man. Things are expensive out there. I don't know if you know this, Mister. I'm rich with podcast money, but
I'm not the one that moved to Texas and bought a 30-acre ranch and was able to
listen.
break.
I'm not the one going to Hawaii on vacations on a whim because I feel like it. I go to like the next. I go to Costco and that's my vacation. No, but anyways, you know what it is? I think hotel rooms are pretty overpriced anyways. And nowadays you don't even get the full service. And they use COVID as an excuse, but they're like, hi, welcome to the hotel. We are not going to clean your rooms. We're not going to bring you fresh towels. And we're no longer serving breakfast. But guess what? The rates are the same as what they've always been. It's like, okay, thanks.
That
jerks.
is true though.
It is true because now they're literally saying, well, for the safety of no bullshit, you can now have half the maid staff that you had before because you're only cleaning the room when the person leaves. Yep. You don't do the daily cleanups, which is BS because whatever. Anyways, whole nother subject, but whatever. So listen, I had a lot of stuff to do, and a lot of my stuff have to be there at a certain time. You know, you got an appointment at 11, or you got to make a phone call at a certain time. Well, listen, I have a morning routine.
Ooh.
And my morning routine involves the old sit and squat. And, you know, when you have to be somewhere, but you have one bathroom amongst 3 ladies and a 4th guy hopelessly trying to get in, it's just not a good situation. So I had gone to the front to see if there was an open public restroom.
He tried.
I did. I really did put in the effort. I walked around, nothing, to no avail. I even asked at the front desk if they had an employee restroom. I was begging them. I was desperate.
Wow. You went and asked for an employee restroom.
Yeah. I mean,
you were
listen,
afraid of blowing up your own restroom.
Oh, like I care. I'll purposely leave a turd in the middle of the floor just to create some mystery. But anyhow, so I'm walking back to our room, and I see the maid cart parked in front of a room and the door open.
I know where this is.
Well, then I see the maid walk out of the room. And she leaves. So her cart's there, and she walks away. She's not like walking to another room. It's almost like she's like, I'm taking my break right now, kind of a thing.
Oh, okay. She was like walking with.
She was like mid clean of a room that was probably empty, that they were like getting ready for next guest, and it was a
maybe she had to go at number 2.
Right, maybe. So I'm kind of doing the caca poo poo pee pee dance, and I'm ready to go, and I'm prairie dogging, man. I mean, I'm ready to go. I mean, I might bust through my pants.
Oh man, we don't need to get that big of a visual.
Yeah, well, so if I could describe it was more loaf-like. No, I'm just kidding. So I look, and I'm thinking to myself, so the room was propped open, the door was ajar, and I looked in there, and I'm like, okay, she's gone. This is obviously an empty room. I'm going to go in there and use that bathroom because I could use it and then run. I mean, my room was like 3 doors down. It's like I could use this. This is like I own a house and I'm using the guest bathroom. Is how I looked at it,
Oh,
or how I justified it to
okay.
myself.
And
Well, okay, so you go in and you're. I'm trying to do my business, but I'm a shy pooer at this point because now I'm scared, because now I'm thinking I got to go really bad, but I'm nervous.
what is somebody going to say? You're going to lock the door, right?
Okay, so here's why I need you along with me. I was so scared to make anything like different than what it appeared to be. I left the door propped open in the exact same like way. You're right. I wasn't even thinking clear. Listen, I was filled with poop, man. I wasn't thinking clearly, obviously. But I left the door in the exact. I'm like, I'm gonna touch nothing so that anyone who walks by just thinks the maid's in here or whatever. But you're right. I should have totally closed the door.
At least the bedroom or bathroom door.
Yeah. So I'm in there. And I'm trying to do my business, and I'm like, I can't, and I'm getting ready to get up. I'm gonna bail on this whole project.
Oh wow, you already
can't
threw in the towel.
I was ready to throw in the toilet paper and just say, I can't do it. I'm just gonna have to go like rip my kids out of the bathroom and use the one back in my hotel room. You know, the one that I'm paying for.
That one.
And then I get the thing I was dreading. I hear footsteps walk into the room.
Oof. Oh my God. You're on the pooper.
And I'm on the pooper. Now, I had the bathroom door closed, but not locked. But I have the light on. So obviously, and you know how when you turn the light on, the fan also comes on. So it's like, and they purposely designed fans loud. I don't know if you know this, but this is like a secret in the industry. Fans are meant to be loud in the bathroom because it's covering up your horrible sounds.
Yeah, no, well, okay. Oh, this is a question.
You know, they can make quiet fans, right? Like fans can exist quietly. Isn't it funny how it's never a quiet fan in the bathroom? It's always noisy.
Yeah, it's because they don't want to be wasting water.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So
wait, hold on. When I was younger, I would have just like sat there and pretended I was frozen and closed my eyes, and they never would have saw me.
Yeah, I could have tried that technique. I mean, I could have also just closed the damn door, but like I said, I was crazy with poo energy, so I wasn't thinking clearly.
Hold on. Did you get the shit scared out of you? Okay, keep going.
So I'm in there, and now comes that moment where you have to decide how you're going to play this.
Okay.
And I thought, okay, it's the maid. The maid's coming back in. I'm going to pretend like I was completely lost and I thought this was my room.
Okay. I figured that's where you'd go.
Right? Like I'm going to completely play this as my room. Okay. So then I'm like, well, I'm not going to sit here and go dookie poo poo kakas because I figured that like that moment's long gone. I can't do it when a stranger is in this room and I'm sneaking in this hotel room. So I figure that's out. I'm like, well, I still got to pee. So I stood up, turn around, let loose.
Oh.
When I pee and the water hits the bowl, makes a sound, I hear the person outside go,
Wait. Did you have your pants down to your ankles like a 2-year-old? Because it kind of sounds
and my underwear too, like all the way to the bottom.
Like you abruptly stood up just to go pee real quick, like you didn't have time. And that's what it sounded like to me.
Oh my goodness.
She's not dead, is she? Like, did she die? Like
No. But I hear that gasping sound, like someone is shocked. Someone is like, "Oh my God, what's going on here?"
A 40-year-old boy.
Yeah, I'm peeing loudly, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm just gonna go out. I'm gonna tell Conchita Maria Gonzalez that I was just in. Oh, what? This isn't my room. Oh, silly white boy, me." And I was gonna get out and I was gonna leave before she even like figures out what's going on. And I had convinced myself that was the plan, and that's what I was gonna do.
You also convinced yourself you graduate high school. That didn't work out for you.
Yeah, that didn't work either. I didn't even graduate junior high. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pull up zip and wash my hands. I'm gonna do the whole thing, and I'm gonna just walk out, and I'm gonna act like I'm the one who's shocked. Like, whoa, what are you doing in my room? Kind of a thing. I thought that was all gonna be part of the act.
Okay.
And then I open the door, and it's a woman standing there with her suitcase, and this is her room.
Oh.
The maid was cleaning. So she must have asked. I didn't stick around to ask questions or get her full biography, but I'm guessing she had requested that her room be cleaned while she was gone. And this was her coming back to her room. So it was not the maid. I opened the door to find the occupant of the room,
which is now 3 doors down from your room.
And I'm still there for a full night longer.
Oh.
So this is not like we're checking out that day.
Run into each other is what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. So my plans are now completely shot because I can't pretend that this is my room. It's obvious that it's not my room.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
So I had nowhere to go. I was trapped, and I just felt like completely. And there was this moment of silence, and then I just.
I don't want to know. I want to know. Hold on. I want to make sure this is
Okay.
still recording. Okay, what'd you say?
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Okay. I just go, sorry. And then I just left. That was it. That's all I had in me. That was all I had in me. In my mind, I had built it up that I was going to have this whole thing, but it was all dependent on the fact that I assumed it was the maid coming back in. I thought I had this whole plan of action.
Instead,
I was completely thrown off my game when it wasn't the maid. And I just sit there and I fumbled a little bit. And then I just said, sorry. And I left. No, but there was a stunned silence. Now I was really glad that I didn't drop Dookie.
Oh my God.
Could you imagine that moment where she walks into the bathroom going like, what was he doing in there? And then she smells poop. She's like, oh, for the love of God. Like at least this, she could just think, oh, maybe he walked into this room.
Oh, she didn't hear you peeing though?
I think she did because I think that's what that gasp was. Either that or she saw the light in the bathroom. But there was that gasp of like,
she probably thought you were an employee. You should have been like, oh, lo siento, lo siento.
You know what? And so that was when I finally got back to the room. That was the other thing I thought about was I should have pretended like I was part of the hotel staff. Like, sorry, ma'am, I'm just the hotel. I'm doing a random check of the rooms, just making sure. I should have done something
random
like that.
COVID P checks.
Yeah, listen, I'm making sure that everyone's keeping their distance. Ma'am, you don't have your mask on right now in your own room. I'm going to have to go ahead and write you up for that. You know what? I'll tell you what. I'm going to let you slide this time. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. That's what I should have done. And normally I'd be on my toes and I'd be ready for this.
But you had
when you're caught, literally caught with my pants down, right? Like the expression of getting caught with your pants down is literally what happened in this case. And I got to be honest with you, it throws you off your game.
Yeah, no, I can imagine, especially since when she did open the door, you looked like a 40-year-old man child with them all the way to the ankles.
Yeah.
So
now
that happened.
Do you think it made things worse that I didn't pee in the toilet and I was just pissing all over the room?
That probably didn't help much. And that's probably what the gasp was for. Or she was like, oh, I've never seen one that small before.
Yes.
But beside all that, you had to go probably back to the elevator and to another floor before you went back to your room.
Yes. So I did finally think clearly at that point, and I got out the room and I was immediately going to hang a right, which would have been heading towards my room. And I took like a half step to my right. And then my instincts told me, no, go left. So I went left instead and I walked down. And then I thought, oh, I'm walking towards the front counter. I don't want them to see me at this time or whatever. So then I got to the end of the hallway and I took the stairs up. Then I walked all the way across the second floor and then took the stairs down and then entered on my other side where my room was and went in my room.
Oh man, you have problems.
The funniest part of the whole story, when I got back to my room, bathroom was empty.
Wow, you could have just stayed in your room and poop.
Could have just stayed in my room and I would have been fine.
So next week on Lick My Balls, Eric's going to talk about how he almost peed on the front yard of the White House.
Yes, I'm gonna storm the White House like they did on January 6th, but I'm gonna storm it and I'm gonna say, guys, I wasn't protesting. I just really need to use the restroom.
Sound effect.
Okay. Hey, guess what I got?
I don't know. What do you have?
Syphilis. But you know what else I got?
What?
I got a case of wanting to do some Rotten Tomatoes. Go for it.
Hooray for Hollywood. It's really got me. Hooray.
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 Hooray for Hollywood.
All right. right. Look at Chris playing with the soundboard. Normally he's just playing with himself, but now he's playing with some equipment.
I am too smart.
Oh, sorry.
Wrong one. Wrong segment.
Damn it.
Okay. So the theme for this week's Rotten Tomatoes game is movies set in Hawaii.
Bathrooms.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I thought about doing that one too, but that was a little too hard to think of.
Movies that have people peeing. It would be A League of Their Own, the most infamous. Okay, movies about what?
Yeah, that's true. Movies that take place in Hawaii.
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 They all had the movies.
Yeah, right. First up. Yeah, isn't it funny how Adam Sandler is pretty much like, I want to go on vacation right now, so I'm going to pretend to film a movie, invite all of my friends. We're going to go on vacation.
Yep.
Yeah, he's never, Adam Sandler's movies are never like, a story about a man who lives in rural Idaho on a cow farm. It's always like, so all these people get together in like Fiji and go down water slides. Fun movie.
Awesome.
Like that's always
Let's
his
call
movies.
it Bad Parents, and I'll bring everybody. Let's go, guys. Come on. Get in the car. Get in the car.
So first up is a movie from 2011, and it stars George Clooney. And that's pretty much the only real famous person in this movie. It got a lot of Oscar buzz when it first came out. It's about this guy who owns a lot of land in Hawaii, and his wife gets injured in a really bad accident, and she's in a coma. And when she's in the coma, he finds out that she's actually been having like this really long-term affair.
Whoa.
And the movie is The Descendants.
I haven't seen this movie yet.
It's not bad. It's depressing. The older I get, I dislike depressing movies more and more. But it was pretty good. It was really interesting because it was George Clooney kind of not doing the smart alecky role. He was doing like a straight up serious role.
Well, it's Shailene Woodley too. She's in a ton of stuff. She was in all those detergent movies.
Ooh. Oh, hold on. Wait, let's rewind this a little bit. I would really like to hear you pronounce those words in that order.
Detergents, lethargic, and sergeant. Those the same words, right?
It literally sounds like you're making that up. I have no idea what you mean.
Bridges is in this movie. Who else? I haven't seen it, so
it's not bad. Yeah, I kind of liked it. It did get some Oscar buzz when it came out. I don't think it won anything. In fact, no, it actually did. It won one Oscar. I don't know, like best movie that people wore Hawaiian shirts in. I don't know. No, it actually won best adapted screenplay.
Oh, is that what it was? It was a book then.
But it was nominated for best picture of the year.
That's because George Clooney was in it. He probably funded it. They were like, the Academy owes him some money because we drank all the tequila at the last couple parties. So put on the nod.
All right. So what do you think? I know you haven't seen it, but just knowing it's a George Clooney movie,
it's a nod, though.
It's a serious movie.
Shailene Woodley's in it. She's a younger her. She's one of the daughter. I would say maybe like a 78. Just because of Clooney?
Yeah, I'm going to say a little bit better. I'm going to say like an 83.
Okay.
All right. Next up, this movie's really funny. I actually, this was not only a funny movie, I actually thought it was a good funny movie. It has who's the really tall guy that looks really lanky and dorky?
Eric Lucky.
Jason Segel, Kristen Bell is in this. Thanks, you jerk. Paul Rudd is hilarious, but he's always hilarious in this. This is called Forgetting Sarah Marshall. And basically he has this really hot girlfriend, and they break up, and he thinks he's going to Hawaii to like escape her, but she's actually staying at the exact same resort.
Is it her boyfriend, Russell Brand?
And her boyfriend is Russell Brand, playing essentially a version of himself.
That's all he was.
Yeah, this movie was really funny. This movie also shows full frontal nudity, as Jason Segel has a scene where he just wags his penis back and forth in front of the camera. And I thought that was pretty brave of him. I think for guys, just being naked, and not like porno naked, but like flaccid, I'm coming out of the shower naked, has got to be really stressful as an actor, right? Because that's like, my kids are going to see this movie one day.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Also,
or like everyone's going to be going, out of my mind. It's not really a good size. Like he
was like,
before the director says action, he fluffs just a little bit.
Oh, fluffs. He's got people out there fluffing for him probably. But no, I probably blocked that out of my brain for a reason. Thanks for bringing that back up to the surface.
Oh, and this has, I think, Mila Kunis when she's at her absolute hottest.
Really?
Like, if I was going to pick a moment where I want to freeze her in time and say this is the hottest she's ever been, I would say Mila Kunis in Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah, no, I remember most of this movie, but I want to watch it again because Kristen Bell did the what was it called? The Good Place, and she was hilarious in that, and I kind of want to go back and relive some of her other stuff.
And also, there's some great the side actors in this. I think are what makes the movie.
Bill Hader.
Jason Segel and Kristen Bell are like the leads, but Mila Kunis, Russell Brand. You got Bill Hader's in this. You got Jack McBrayer, who's always funny. You got Paul Rudd in like a really small role, but he's funny. You got Jonah Hill as a waiter.
Yeah, right.
You got like a pretty cool side cast as well in this movie.
But also, this is one of those movies that roll up in the 40-year-old virgin stuff, and they're like, oh, that movie was made for people for penis jokes. So it probably didn't rate very well with the critics, and that's where we're going, right?
That is where we're going. You got to think what the critics say. Me personally, I would call this movie a 90. I thought it was great. It was super enjoyable, and it did everything it was set out to do. But I don't think that's how the critics felt.
Oh, well, then why'd you pick a 90?
Oh, I'll go first. I'll go first.
I'm writing 90 down, you dick. Come on, tell me your real answer.
No, I think I'm going to go lower because you're right? Like, it's a comedy. Comedy is really hard to get a good score at. So I'm going to say 75.
Ooh.
Which, by the way, is still a good comedy score.
That is a good comedy score. I am going to go a little lower because I think that it just probably didn't get shit because as good as Kristen Bell was at the time, or Mila Kunis, or Russell Brand wasn't that big at the time. Jason Segel's name wasn't that great either. So I don't think he was as big as, like a Franco at the time. So I'm going to say like a 68.
Ooh, that's low. Hopefully the critics saw it differently. Okay, next up was a movie. Now, I have a pretty good overall track record of I can tell if a movie is going to be good or not. Like, and I'm honest about this. Like, I'm actually, it's a skill. It's one of my skills. Whether I'm watching a trailer or something or reading about something, I very rarely go see a movie that's a dud. It happens very rarely. I'm pretty good at it. But this next movie was one that completely fooled me. And to this day, I'm still mad that it fooled me because I should have known better based on who directed it. Because I have a hard and fast rule about this director. This movie came out in 2001. I remember I saw this movie with your ex-girlfriend.
Oh, fun.
And my future wife. No, I think we were married at this point. With your ex-girlfriend and my wife.
Midway?
At Disneyland. I'm sorry. Your ex-girlfriend and my wife.
They worked together.
And I went and saw this movie at Disneyland at a theater inside Disneyland, like one of those secret employee theaters.
Oh, really?
Because it was a Disney movie.
Oh.
Stars Ben Affleck.
Daredevil.
Josh Hartnett. Remember when he used to be popular? Kate Beckinsale, who was just, God, she's smoking hot.
$1 Million Baby.
And no, Pearl Harbor.
Oh, shit.
This was a 3-hour movie. Now, here's why I should have known it was going to suck.
Wasn't Cuba Gooding?
It was directed by Michael Bay and Jerry Bruckheimer. And I have a hard and fast rule. There's only a couple movies that they've ever made that have been good, and that's Top Gun and Bad Boys. Like, other than those two movies, they really haven't made a movie now they've made some entertaining movies like Armageddon, where you're like, oh, that's a pretty fun movie. But I wouldn't call that a great movie, or like, it wasn't quality. It's just, it's a popcorn flick.
But what's funny is that you have a hard and fast rule, and so do they. Most of their movies have the word hard or fast in the title.
This is also very true. And I also have a theory that they will have something that will explode at some point. There will always be an explosion. Yeah. If you work in explosives in this business and you're on like Michael Bay and Jerry Bruckheimer's team, like you're always getting work. And I'm also a sucker for World War II stuff. It's like right in my wheelhouse, and I was so excited for this movie. And I remember going to see it, and we all went and saw it together, and it was super, super, super below average. And what made it worse was it was 3 hours and below average.
Yeah,
like an hour and 45. I can okay, it wasn't up to expectations. But when you're on like hour 2 and you're like, oh, finally this movie's wrapping up, and you're like, what? It's still going for another hour.
Yeah, well, you're sitting there in the first 45 minutes, like nothing happens. And it's one of those movies where it's like, okay, well, we know what happened, so let's just kind of get to it and see how the shit like rolls out, like Titanic, right? And I think it was riding the hills of Titanic and a couple of the movies like that were, history made into a blockbuster, and this one fell flat on its face because they overdid it. They overdid it hard.
Yeah, and in this, I don't know the score yet, but I know that this is one that, I mean, the critics had to have hated it, but I think even the audiences probably hated this one because I think this one totally bombed in the theaters. Get it? Bombed. Okay, so what is your score for this atrocity of a movie, Pearl Harbor?
I'm not exactly sure how to rate this one because it does have a lot of star power in it, and even back then, I mean, Ben Affleck, John Hartnett, Kate Beckinsale, William Lee Scott, isn't that Stifler? No, that's Sean William Scott. Alec Baldwin, Jennifer Garner, John Voight, Cuba Gooding Jr. It had a huge cast. So I think just out of that, they're probably going to be a little higher. But the movie was 4 hours of just teeth pulling.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
So I'm going to say, probably like a 60.
Oh, I think you went way too high. I think this movie's a total turd. I'm gonna say 30.
Wow, that's gonna be the breaker right there. That's how you.
Yeah, right there, right? Because all the other ones we were pretty even Steven on, but that one's a breaker. All right, our final movie is a movie I have a problem with.
We were just really? You have a problem with something ever?
Yeah, I know, right? This is a shocker, everybody. I'm gonna complain about something. Okay. The movie came out in 2004, and it stars Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, who I find charming. And the movie is 50 First Dates.
Tread lightly. This is my wife's favorite movie.
Here's the problem I have with it. It's a cute movie. It's a cute movie. It's a movie you could watch once and you're fine. Here's the problem I have. Don't you think every single day he was committing date rape of some form? Right? Yeah. Because think about at the very end when she wakes up and he watches the video where he like sums everything up. So a couple problems I have. Number one, this relationship isn't worth it. I don't care how great she is. I don't care that she's Drew Barrymore. He has to update that shit all the time with every new thing. She has to wake up in the morning and realize, oh, I've had children and I'm supposed to love them even though I don't even know them. Oh, and I got married to this total stranger. And then he comes in the room and he's like, hey, honey, how about some like morning loving? And she doesn't remember or have feelings for you. You just showed her a video. It's essentially date rape. Every single day is a date rape for this woman.
Well, I mean, the days they don't do it is not necessarily date rape, but that was my biggest question too when I watched this movie. And it wasn't the date rape question. It was she woke up one day pregnant, like not like I'm a little pregnant, like I'm giving birth pregnant. What did she do? Like, how did that,
and how much did she freak out? And how do you come to terms with that?
Was she tied down? Because they probably would have had to tie me down if I had a memory for only a day and I woke up weird one day, like for period.
What happens if he happens to not be there for that day to show her the video and she wakes up and just doesn't remember to take care of the infant? I'm telling you, while this movie was charming and it was cute, it was a cute movie and all that, I had so many problems with it because I was just thinking to myself, how is this relationship worth it?
Yeah, to him? Like, to him, nothing at all. Yeah, no, nothing at all, except for the fact that he gets to...
How could she ever even really love him? She can't even really have true affection for him. She watches a video and goes, well, I guess I'm supposed to love this guy. And that's how every day goes for him. And she's never going to remember his birthday. She's never going to put out any effort for him. It's purely him having to update this freaking video 20 times a year and remind her, hey, by the way, you're supposed to love me and these are our children and we've had this life together. And he has to do it every day. That's all cute in a movie. Real life scenario, like 4 years into it, he's like, I'm gonna kill myself.
Well, that's why he went to the middle of nowhere. He was going to throw them all off the boat probably.
Yeah.
No, I have a question though. I mean, the only thing I can see the upside of this is that you get to have sex with a different woman every night if you want to. You can pretend to have different things. Oh, my son just walked in. You can pretend to do different things, and she doesn't know. She'll remember.
You could totally be cheating on her all over the place, and how and you could totally tell her. You can like bring a girl home and be like, "Yeah, this is my girlfriend," and she can get super mad at you and scream and yell and whatever. And the next morning, it's like, fine, nothing.
She's not here.
Hey, whose underwear is this?
Yeah,
it's yours.
It's yours, stupid. I bought it for you yesterday.
Don't you remember?
That'd be your excuse for everything. Yeah. When did you tell me this?
Oh, honey, you don't realize it. You wake up and you immediately start doing the dishes and you do it in lingerie. It's kind of a thing we do every single day. So chop, go. I mean, I'm sure you could have played that angle, but they played it as some sweet thing. I don't think it would be that sweet if you truly had this situation.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't be that sweet, but it would be quite fun. It would be like Groundhog Day, but once you got her pregnant, you'd be screwed. Like I'd be like, oh, I'll use Groundhog Day for a while. But
that might be fun to date in that situation for a while, but I don't know if you want to lock that down long term.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a lot of work and very little payoff.
Once it's like oh wow, they're having kids now, then you're screwed. But if it's just like oh yeah, maybe I'll go see her tomorrow. I'm having a different girlfriend today.
Yeah. All right, so for your score.
Oh yeah, I forgot we were playing.
I'll go ahead and go first on this one. I don't think critics. I think critics probably liked it because they always like Drew Barrymore a little bit, but it was countered by them not liking Adam Sandler.
But this was their sequel to The Wedding Singer.
Right. Oh, that's a good point. Well, I'm going with 60.
Oh, I think it's higher than that because as much as it was, a date rape movie, as you put it so eloquently, I think it did well in the box office because it was quite funny and it was Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler at it again. So I'm going to give it a 70.
Okay. So you're going to tell your wife that I called this the date rape movie, right?
I'm pretty sure she's heard everything about it so far.
Okay. All right. So first up,
it's the only way she listens to the podcast is on accident.
I know. The Descendants.
Okay, what do you got?
You gave it a score of 78. I gave it a score of 83. And honestly, pretty surprising. This is higher than both of us thought.
Whoa.
87. This is a pretty solid movie, and I guess the critics agree.
So you're 4 and I'm 9. Okay.
All righty. So that one might be worthy putting on your list. I think that's a good watch together with your wife kind of movie.
Okay, I will.
And then you could tell her, hey, when you are in a coma and I find out you're cheating on me, I'm so not going to take care of you.
How hard is it to take care of someone in a coma?
I don't know. You have to wipe drool and stuff and wipe butts.
People for
that. Oh. What if you're poor like me and you won't pay for the second bedroom of a hotel?
Then you probably are going to be the one in the coma.
Yeah, that's true too. So next up, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, I said 75. You said 68. This is actually a shocker.
Okay.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall, the critics love.
What?
83.
83?
Which, by the way, I'm actually super happy that I was that we were that wrong on it, because that means that's really surprising. Comedies don't normally do very well. It was a silly, goofy comedy that had a male penis in it, and Russell Brand, who's pretty hateable. Like, a lot of people don't like him, and it got an 83 from the critics. That's actually incredibly solid of a comedy movie score.
It was a chick flick from the guy's point of view, getting his heart broken. That didn't happen very often.
Wow, I'm actually really impressed with that score. Next up, the Pearl Harbor, the movie that bombed and did not do so well. This is where it's really going to separate us, and I think this is where it just ends right here, because I said a 30, you said a 60. I was definitely closer. Get this,
sick.
A 24.
Oh, good God!
Wow, that's Chris. I think if you and I filmed a movie over a weekend, I think we could get like a 24 from the critics.
We should do that. We should
just see if we could beat Pearl Harbor.
Right? We should do that.
We'll call the movie Forgetting Pearl Harbor, like Forgetting Sarah Marshall. And it'll just be us trying to forget that we watched the awful horror movie Pearl Harbor.
It'll be us in a Zoom meeting trying to get it to work so we can watch it together to talk about it. But at the end, we're just like, fucking forget it.
And honestly, that's a perfect description. If we filmed a Zoom meeting, it's going to get like a 15.
Yeah. No,
like critics, right? They're going to say it was like some art piece, like, ooh, it was deconstructing the American workplace, or whatever. They're going to say something and give it a 15. This got a 24, and it had like a budget of like 300 million. That's insane.
And a cast of that much too, probably.
So last up, we were both way off on this one. 50 First Dates. I said 60. You said 70. I'm still going to win this thing, but we both were way off. This got a 40.
Oh, wow.
Critics did not like this movie, maybe because they all realized that it's filled with date rape. Okay. And on that note,
you sounded like you were closing out 60 Minutes. And
on that note,
date rape.
Date rape. Hey, before we go, and of course we tell everyone to go to This Is Fun and all that. Yeah. There's an April Foolishness podcast coming out from This Is Funner, isn't there?
Yeah, it'll be out this April. Oh shit, that's tomorrow. Okay, yeah. So hopefully, hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, I'm working on it right now. I'm finishing it up. But yes, it's the April Fool's podcast, and it's the This Is Funner year in review of the last 365 days, because everybody else does theirs in January. So screw them. We're just going to talk about idiots in April because it's April Fool's, right?
I think April 1st is like a better cutoff.
Yeah, I think so too, because you know whether or not you're going to kill yourself if you have to pay taxes or if you get taxes back.
This is true.
That is.
This is true. Okay, everybody go to This Is Funner. You can go to Chris_Donovan at Twitter and Sinatra's Rat Pack on Twitter and listen to, see Chris tweet out photos of going to like Hawaii and like Morocco and wherever the hell else he's going to go.
Nowhere.
And you can listen to me complain about the media and how it's ruining everyone's lives.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll be back next week with more comedy.
Yeah, let me read Eric's latest tweet that I replied to.
You got to bleep out all the cuss words.
Ready? This is very intense. No thanks. All right, guys, that's the show. Thank you so much. This is funner.com, and until next time.
All right, talk to you later.
Catch you later.
You find me somewhere over the rainbow.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.